What's up, everybody? This is Alon Jones. If you're new to my channel, welcome. To everyone else, welcome back. I wanted to make this video because before I put out other videos, I wanted to make sure that this one explains things that I may reference later on. So pretty much, my videos are going to be about different things, but the underlying theme of my channel will be about the good and the bad that we deal with. It'll be about this dichotomy of good versus bad, good and evil. And this concerns everything: the news, politics, policy, how we relate to each other in society, etc. So every topic, everything that we pay attention to, it ultimately comes down to this. It ultimately comes down to matters of morality. In this video, I'm going to address two major concepts that illustrate this. And let's get started. Number one, altruism. Altruism is feelings or actions that show an unselfish concern for other people. It's the principle and the moral practice of concern for happiness of other human beings and or animals, resulting in a quality of life both material and spiritual. I personally believe that it's our responsibility, especially during this point in time when our civil liberties are being taken away and things are getting really weird and backwards and unnatural. The responsibility of those of us who are not weak and who are able is to try to decrease the suffering of good people. Society has become very non-altruistic and we need all the help that we can get. So there's altruism versus my second point or concept, the ego. I am going to get into three concepts that can be used interchangeably because they're so similar, but they do have distinct differences. So first, egoism. This is self-interest as the foundation for morality. There are three forms: the doctrine that people should only do what's in their self-interest and no one has any obligation to promote anyone else's interests; the doctrine that people are motivated only by their self-interests, so everything that they do is because they want to and because they're going to benefit from it; and thirdly, the principle that it's simply logical to do things that benefit your self-interest. And I know people like this, and these types of people think that they know that they need to get from point A to point B, right? And they don't care how they get from to point B. They don't care what they have to do in between. They don't care who gets hurt in between. They just think, hello, it's only logical that I need to do X, Y, and Z to get to point B in order to get to point B because I benefit from reaching that destination. They don't care at all about the in-between. They just care about what their needs are. So that's egoism. And then there's egotism, which is defined as an excessive or exaggerated sense of self-importance, preoccupation with ego or self, selfishness and self-centeredness. An example sentence: his egotism alienated all of his friends. Egotistical people tend to really struggle with friendships because it becomes apparent to the people in their lives that everything that they do is about themselves. It becomes apparent that they're extremely self-centered, and it's off-putting. So these people, they'll usually just drop out of your life. They won't even tell you why they're not friends with you anymore. It's just they're so put off by you always doing things that are only for yourself, only talking about yourself. Very, very off-putting. Everybody wants to be cared for and loved. It's pretty much the point of friendships: paid attention to, cared about. And if you can't do that, they're gone. And then there's narcissism. Narcissism is the pursuit of gratification from vanity or egotistic admiration of one's idealized self-image. So remember, the narcissist doesn't live as their actual self. They hide behind a mask. They create a false self, and they want people to admire this false person that they created, that they live as. So they want admiration for their idealized self-image and attributes, and they have excessive preoccupation, interest, or admiration of oneself. I don't even know right now if that's redundant or not, but that's what narcissism is. So a lot of people, egoists, they find it hard to believe that others are truly altruistic. Their egotism, their extreme self-centeredness, tells them that other people don't think differently than they do, and that other people also have selfish desires just like them. And this happens because they have theory of mind issues. Theory of mind is a social cognitive skill, so it's a social issue, but it also affects the way that they process information, and how they process information and how they act on certain things as a result. Children develop this around 3 years old. It can be younger, but adults who are developmentally disordered in some way, which is what this self-centeredness thing is all about, as that's how babies and young children are, they will not have this skill. So some adults do not have theory of mind in working order. So pretty much in this life, you can either do for others and you can help the world go round, or you can do for self and participate in the world's destruction. If you're an altruist, especially if you're not rich, expect to endure some type of struggle and suffering. Definitely. This goes for any group, community, any country. And usually the only way to turn this around is to become an egoist, unfortunately. It's kind of like the music artist or the actor or the media personality that sells their soul for success. And they just go rogue for success because they're tired of struggling, or they're just so egotistical that they want that, or narcissistic rather, that they want that attention. And they do that. It's sad. But anyway, in my opinion, being altruistic is the goal. It should be the goal for all of us. And an altruistic lifestyle is definitely worth it because you can feel and communicate God's love that way. If you happen to be an egoist and you're watching this, or you think that you are, here are some suggestions that I found online that might be helpful. So So thanks for watching my video, and I'll catch you in my next one.